Good evening. You're watching the news on Croatian television. The 6th annual summit of China and Central and European countries, also known as 16+1, begins tomorrow in Budapest. Croatian Prime Minister Andrej Plenković will meet with his Chinese counterpart on Monday in an effort to attract some of the billions of euros in investments from the world's second largest economy. China is said to have their eye on real estate development on the Adriatic coast. Also, Plenković will meet with his Hungarian hosts to discuss the state of affairs with regards to INA MOL, as well as their efforts to join the EU's Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, which Hungary continues to block. The Croatian Bureau of Statistics is set to release their initial estimates of GDP growth for the third quarter next week. The HINA news agency polled 8 macroeconomists who estimate that the economy grew between 3.3 and 3.9% compared to the same period last year. If their estimates are accurate, this will represent the biggest jump in GDP growth in the past decade. The record-breaking tourism season and a surge in personal spending were the main contributors to the economic boost. Ivan Vilibor Sinčić, the president of the Živi Zid activist party, spoke on Croatian television this afternoon regarding the country's GDP growth and overall state of the economy.
These statistics are somewhat slanted in our favor, but if you compare our numbers with other EU member states, we're at the very bottom. For example, our slow internet speed, adoption of reforms and investments in education, science and research, employment. Even Romania has surpassed us with their GDP growth. If we continue along this path, we'll only be digging ourselves into a deeper hole while other countries move forward.
This year's first major snowfall is causing havoc for drivers on Croatian roads, especially leading to and from the Adriatic coast in the western highland regions of Gorski Kotar and Lika. Meanwhile, that same snow is bringing joy to those who chose to spend their Sunday afternoon on Zagreb's popular Sljeme mountain, which received about 20 centimeters. And with a drop in temperature early in the week, more of the white stuff could be on the way.
I came to see the first snowfall of the year and enjoy my Sunday afternoon here with my son. Well, now that we finally have snow on Sljeme, I came here with my friends to check out the conditions.
With winter approaching fast, flu season is not far behind. Research by the Croatian Pharmaceutical Society shows that around 80% of citizens do not get regular flu shots. Despite these statistics, in the first 3 weeks of this year's vaccination period, 280,000 doses have already been used up. 4 counties, including Zagreb and Split, are seriously low on supplies. Pharmacists say more doses will become available in the coming days.
Once the mortality rate from the common flu is higher than in the previous year, that usually becomes the best advertisement for next year's flu shot. And yes, this does happen here quite often.
In arts and entertainment, the 9th theater night took place yesterday in more than 70 venues around the country. Many public, private and amateur theaters participated in the increasingly popular event. Audiences at the National Theatre in Osijek were treated to a premiere performance of Giuseppe Verdi's Il Trovatore. Taking a quick look at sports in qualifications for the 2019 FIBA Basketball World Cup, Croatia lost to Italy this evening in Zagreb 80-64. This marks their second loss in 3 nights after losing to the Netherlands on Friday. Croatia continues to play with a significantly weakened roster as more than a dozen top players are unavailable due to obligations with their professional clubs. In the 17th round of the Domestic Football League, Cibalia lost at home in Vinkovci to defending league champs Rijeka 2-1. And in the other game today, Dinamo tied Rudeš 1-1 on a wet and muddy afternoon in Zagreb. Despite failing to secure a win, Dinamo still holds a commanding lead in the standings with 41 points. While Hajduk, Osijek and Rijeka all trail by 12 points in a tie for second place. The weather forecast for tomorrow calls for partly sunny skies in most regions and with no precipitation. The southern Adriatic and parts of the Dalmatian hinterland will see the most cloud coverage and also the possibility of rain showers. Winds mostly weak to moderate and coming out of the northwest. The Adriatic will get a strong northeasterly with gale force gusts coming down from Velebit in the north and the Biokovo mountain in the south. Morning lows are between -7 and -2 in the mountains, between -2 and +2 in the interior, and between 3 and 8 on the coast, will give way to highs of 4 to 7 degrees in the interior and 8 to 12 degrees Celsius on the coast. Tuesday morning is set to be even cloudier in the continent, but with a sunny and dry afternoon. Wednesday will be colder still as winds and rain move in from the west. The Adriatic coast will also be colder and sunny. Wednesday and Thursday will be cloudy and rainy. Heavier storms are expected in places. Strong winds from the southeast will help to raise temperatures slightly. And that brings us to the end of our program. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow night.